Avodah Zarah, Parakol Atzlamim, Daf Mem Tes, sponsored for a brach of Hatzlacha for Yerachmiel ben Zev. We begin with the Mishnah. Tanoim dispute whether it is permitted to plant vegetables under an Asherah tree. Tanakama holds it is permitted in the winter but not in the summer, except lettuce, prohibited to plant even in the summer. The reason: number one, during winter months, the tree's shade blocks necessary sunlight from reaching the vegetation. Number two, during summer months, the tree's shade benefits the vegetation, prevents it from drying up. Number three, lettuce always benefits from shade. Rabbi Yossi holds one cannot plant them under an Asherah during the winter months. The reason: it sheds its leaves that fertilizes the planted soil. Explanation of the dispute. The Rabbanan hold Zev v'zeh gorem mutter. Rabbi Yossi holds Zev v'zeh gorem aser. The combination of the soil with the forbidden leaves prohibits it. Question: the opposite seems true. Rabbi Yossi holds one can dispose of an idol not only by throwing it in the Dead Sea, but also grinding it into a powder and scattering it into the wind. The Rabbanan disagree. The powder may land in a Jew's field, fertilizing it. Apparently, Rabbi Yossi is lenient because he holds Zev v'zeh gorem mutter, whereas the Rabbanan hold aser. The answer: number one, reverse the opinions of our Mishnah. Number two, it is not necessary to reverse them. Rabbi Yossi distinguishes between grinding an idol, an act of destruction, and the natural shedding of leaves. The Rabbanan hold our Mishnah is unique because the benefit of the falling leaves is offset by the reduction of shade. Question: Rabbi Yossi apparently holds Zev v'zeh gorem mutter. He holds one who plants an arla nut, layered or grafted a branch of the forbidden tree, the subsequent nuts that grow are permitted. The new nuts are a product of permitted soil or permitted tree, as well as the prohibited fruit or tree. Perhaps he is stringent in our Mishnah concerning idolatry. This is also not tenable. One brisa stated a field fertilized with fertilizer from an animal slaughtered to an idol, or an animal fattened with idolatrous vetch. Both can be used. One brisa states they are prohibited. Apparently the dispute between the Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi. The answer: the Rabbanan dispute not Rabbi Yossi but Rabbi Eliezer. Yeast from truma and chulin together leavened the dough. Rabbi Eliezer holds the one that fell in last is decisive, whereas the Rabbanan hold it depends if both or only one are needed to leaven the dough. However, Abai explains Rabbi Eliezer that even if the permitted yeast fell in last, the prohibited yeast had to be removed before the permitted fell in. Otherwise, it is Zev v'zeh gorem. The refutation: perhaps Rabbi Eliezer holds whatever falls in last is decisive, regardless whether the prohibited yeast was removed. Zev v'zeh gorem is when they fall in simultaneously. Their dispute concerns Asherah wood used to fire an oven for baking bread. The Rabbanan prohibit the bread. One cannot redeem the value of the Isser because ein pidyon la'avodas kochavim, whereas Rabbi Eliezer holds the bread is prohibited, but one can redeem the Isser. However, the Rabbanan dispute him only in the case of yeast, but concerning idol worship, they are also stringent. The Gemara concluded, Rabbi Yossi holds Zev v'zeh gorem mutter, but the Rabbanan who prohibit it should prohibit vegetables that were fertilized by Asherah leaves. They hold it is not a real benefit because shedding leaves diminish the tree's shade. The law follows Rabbi Yossi Zev v'zeh gorem mutter. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. Number one is prohibited to use Asherah wood. Number two, one who heated a new oven with this wood, it must be shattered. An old oven must be cooled before used. Number three, bread baked in the oven is prohibited according to the opinion Zev v'zeh gorem aser. Even mixed with other loaves, all are prohibited. Avodah Zarah is aser b'mashu. According to the Rabbanan, there is no redeeming the Isser. According to Rabbi Eliezer, there is redemption. Number four, Asherah wood made into a weaver's pick cannot be used. A garment woven with the pick, even mixed with other garments, all are prohibited. The Rabbanan prohibit redeeming the Yisur. Rabbi Eliezer permits it. Question: why were two cases necessary to demonstrate the same ruling? The answer: perhaps Rabbi Eliezer agrees the Yisur cannot be redeemed where the pig is intact, and the Rabbanan would agree the Yisur in the bread can be redeemed because by the time the bread is baked, the wood is consumed. The law follows Rabbi Eliezer even when wine barrels intermingle with one of Nesach. Unlike the case of bread and the pick, where the Yisur is not discernible, the Nesach wine is. Despite this, it is redeemable. Now we move on to a new Mishnah. The Mishnah discusses how to nullify an Asherah. Number one trim, pruned, removed the stick, twig, or a leaf. Number two, one shaved chips to beautify the tree. It is forbidden. For his personal needs, it is permitted. The shavings are permitted because they will be discarded. A ruling concerning an idol that broke accidentally. Number one, both Rav and Shmuel agree fragments are worshipped. They dispute fragments of fragments. Rav prohibits them, Shmuel permits them. Number two, both agree fragments of fragments are permitted. They dispute an idol constructed of parts that a non-professional can assemble. Rav holds it is not nullified. Shmuel holds it does not need nullification because it's a natural breakage nullifies it. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.